Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to tonight's live feed interview. We've got a great one for you tonight. Hopefully you'll be joining this chat very soon. Mr. Indy Ford, multi-instrumentalist, major talent, many albums out with Indy in the Vegas, toured the whole world, recorded in LA, so many things. This guy is super talented. We hope he's going to join this chat any moment so we can ask him some questions, see how he's got down in the lockdown, see how he's got down and got on in the lockdown, and find out a little bit about his musical journey. So we're just waiting for Indy to join the chat. Got our headphones. How are you all doing? Here we are, got my vintage 90s Mark Bolan t-shirt on. Who is watching the Indy Ford interview? And as hopefully Indy's got an iPhone and can tilt it and join the chat. As ever for me, I've got a million things to do, even though I'm not doing my normal job at the moment. So I'm still, who's watching? Talk to me. How's it all going? I'm waiting for Indy Ford to join the chat. Is it going to happen? Is he going to manage to join the chat? Okay. On the Facebook Live. Fred Wright is watching. Just waiting for Mr. Indy Ford to join the chat. Is it going to happen? Indy Ford, are you there? Can you join the live? We've got a couple of people watching. Nice to see you all. So Indy Ford, there you are. Indy Ford is watching. Okay, are you watching on an iPhone? If you turn it, if you turn it sort of on its side, it'll have a little icon which is like just before the comment section. You can request to join the chat. But if we can always hang up and start again. If you haven't got an iPhone, the door is open, Indy Ford. I hope you're listening. And there should be a little icon. I can see it on here, that you can request to join the chat. So can you see that, Indy? Or shall we, if you haven't got an iPhone, I'm not sure how it works on other mobile phones, but yeah, you basically get your phone, so imagine that's your phone, and you turn it on its side, and then it will come up and it will say, join the chat. It'll give you two little pictures, and a little icon that you can join the chat on. Indy Ford is watching, so there you are. Bring them on camera. Okay, Indy Ford, add Indy. Indy Ford, ladies and gentlemen. He's got his headphones. We're adding him now. This is the moment. Indy Ford.
Yeah. I was just pressing a load of buttons.
Don't worry. Welcome, everybody,
Hello.
Mr. Indy Ford, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Indy?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm just having a cuddle.
Yeah, you're having a cuddle with the cat. What's the cat called?
Rue.
Hello, Rue.
Rue, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. So, Indy, first thing we always ask when we do our interviews, how have you been getting on in the lockdown? How have you been getting through it?
It's still kind of surreal.
Yeah, I know.
Still feel like we're in a movie.
I feel like that too.
Yeah, literally in a movie. Yeah, apart from being really skint, I've actually quite enjoyed it.
I know. I mean, I'll repeat myself again. I always say, apart from obviously everybody's well-being, and God knows it's been a tough time in certain areas, everybody's well-being's first and foremost. That's obvious. Then the economic thing, which we're all feeling, especially if you're a musician, whatever your job is, and then after those two things, the freedom to do things like this and work on music is a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's like a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I've had a lot of time. But I've started learning the piano properly. So like taking lessons, and because I've always just tinkered.
He's tinkered very well, everybody.
So yeah, just trying to keep active, really. Not as active as you.
Well,
you're an inspiration.
Well,
on the old socials.
Well, on the old socials. Well, no, Indy, you are the inspiration. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never met this guy, he's a major talent. This is going to be on YouTube, by the way. So whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever you're watching on, Indy, take us back to the start of what got you into music, and who are tell us about yourself.
So music, my dad used to be in a reggae band with my uncle, so it's always been around. I was listening to reggae music as a kid.
Yeah.
And my love was Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. First album I ever bought was Dangerous back in '92 or something.
Wow.
with my own money. That was the first album I bought myself. So I'd say, yeah, Michael Jackson was a big influence. But the one that got me to start playing guitar was Innuendo, Queen.
Oh, what a great album! Yes, similar sort of time. So that was did you pick up guitar first? Was that something you picked up when you were a little lad?
I think I was about 11.
About 11, and
wow. About 11.
And did you now? Indy can really play the guitar. Did you have lessons, or were you self-taught? What was the thing with the guitar?
So I just noodled for a little while. Then I went to school at Bedford Modern, and Max Milligan was there, the tutor there. So I had lessons off Max for 2 or 3 years.
Well, that's a great celebrated guitar teacher. So he got you up on the chops and stuff. So you had lessons with him, and then sort of self-taught. And and as far as the songwriting concerned, in those early days, you have a desire to write songs, as you obviously have gone on to do. How did that start?
Again, it was just learning the chords. It kind of seemed like the first part takes so long, and then it kind of just all clicks, and then you're just like, I can play the guitar now. And then I started writing. So I'd say like maybe 3 or 4 years in, I was like, okay, I can do it now. I'm not just playing like Wonderwall.
And I guess that was so we were talking sort of the late '90s when you were sort of coming up.
It would have been 96-ish.
96-ish. So very, at the height of Britpop.
Yeah. So everyone was learning Blur and Oasis. It's just a nice, easy tutorial, as it were.
It was. They were very good ways to sort of access chords and stuff. And so at that time when you were coming up, were there bands? Obviously, we'll talk about everything you've done up to this point. But what were your early bands? Were you in bands or were you singing?
We were in a school band with Matt, who's my bassist now, actually.
Yeah.
We were in a school band way back in the day. I used to jam with Dan Priddy, another amazing Bedford musician. Started off at the school band. Then we all went away, did our separate things, and I kind of did a solo thing. And then we started Indy and the Vegas in 2009, possibly.
Because I've got to give props to your parents here. Indy Ford is a very, very cool name. It just rolls off the tongue. I've always I've got to put it out there, guys. It's a great name. So
Cheers,
so no, thank you. So back in that day, you got these bands together. Did you have a desire? Did you play locally? Did you put on shows when you were a teenager? Did you do stuff like that?
Not so much, actually.
No.
It was a very bedroom musician.
Yeah.
I was very, very shy. I think I still am off stage.
Yeah.
But no, not until Indy and the Vegas, really. That's when we really started pushing it. And I think I met you in 2013.
Yeah.
And we went on hiatus. We'd actually broken up. That was before our first proper album.
Yeah.
Which was 2014. But I met you in 2013, probably early, maybe January.
So
and that was a Monday night. That was a White Horse Monday night special. And I met a lot of the crew there, actually. Michael Green, I met that night.
Michael Green.
Kaylee Sanders.
Shout out to all of those.
Probably. Yeah. Probably Pep as well.
Yeah.
Hot Space, like all the classic Monday night shenanigans.
The classic shenanigans. So back on. We've got a few people watching now. I don't know if you can see the comments your side, but
I can't see anything.
Yeah, there's a few people watching.
I
think if you swipe to the left, they come on. I'm not sure. If you swipe to the right.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you got the comments. There you go. Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah. To be honest, so am I every day. So okay. So keep on keeping on. James Morton, Jim Morton. We're going to be interviewing him at some point. Derek Clark.
OBM too.
Yeah. Yes. So Indy. So back to sort of the music. So and writing your songs and stuff when you were when did you start writing songs? Is this back in the 90s when you started writing songs, or is this something you've done relatively recently? Or
So maybe the late 90s, we'd have some crappy like pop punky songs. That's kind of what I started writing, kind of the Green Day type power chordy
stuff was your initial vibe.
Right, yeah, writing vibes, and it would always be whatever I was listening to, I would sound like. So I'd listen to the Foo Fighters, and then I'd be writing songs like the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of get out of that habit.
Yeah, I mean, we've all, I think, well, I still do. We all to a degree, do, it's filtering it and then getting your own thing on it, isn't it? It's then sort of stylizing a style that you do when you're young, and we've all had those moments. So so around about that time, who else was influencing you? Who were you? So we've talked about Michael Jackson, Foo Fighters, Green Day, the Britpop thing. Who else were you discovering, along the way that you're thinking, wow? Do you remember anyone you discovered thinking, yes?
Such an eclectic taste.
Well, go
What
for
we
it.
would
Tell
do,
us.
we're talking at this was like just as Napster was starting to be a thing, and not that I want to get into the legalities and stuff, but music sharing, and we had mini discs, and we were all just borrowing each other's stuff and recording it. I've still got bags full of mini discs.
Good old mini discs. Good
around.
format.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
So everyone and everything, like Nirvana, Tupac.
Yeah.
Then we'd be listening to Spin Doctors. A lot of blues. John Verity as well. I remember him playing he was a big inspiration.
Oh wow, yeah.
At the River Festival, I remember seeing him. I was about 15, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So blues has always been a big love of mine. That's probably from Max as well. We just sit and jam in our lessons. So I'd say, yeah, blues was a big one.
Yeah. And so yeah, so
Clapton, Gary Moore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Even Santana, and I jammed to all of these guys. Yeah, it was great. Little Richard,
of course,
Jerry Lee Lewis,
all the
anything.
all the classics. So I think that's. Well, I haven't actually touched on this with anyone else yet, and I know I did this and still do this. You put on a record you love, you turn your guitar up, and whether it's your bedroom, wherever you are, you play along to it, and you just get into it. It's such a beautiful, never ever. I don't think I'll never stop doing it. It's just a great feeling. You just jam along to your favourite music. So with Indy and the Vegas then, so let's bring it sort of round to those guys. You'd been in a band with a couple of them. You knew you were solo, you say before, but you wanted to have it as more of a band, a regular lineup thing. So, and have you done 3 albums, is it now, or 2, or correct me?
1 EP and 2 albums. One's been released. The one we're doing, we're staggering it, so we're just doing a song a month this year.
Yeah, obviously with the things. So tell us about the EP then. What was the first Indy in the Vegas EP?
First EP was Fair Fight.
Yeah.
5 tracks. And we recorded that with an old friend of mine, Nick Rundle.
Yeah.
And Tim Basil at Heart of Gold in London. And that's just a 5-track that had Fair Fight, Pheromones, California Sun, Viva Voce, and Straight from Hell.
Yeah.
So that was, and it was a lot rockier than we intended it to be, probably.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do pop because obviously my first love is, Jackson and Stevie and
Yeah.
Pop. I always wanted like a poppy album.
Yeah.
And we kind of got there on the 2014 album.
Which is
if it was produced a bit better, it would have been. That was very homebrew. As well.
Are we talking about the EP? The EP was?
No, this is skipping forward.
So skipping forward to the album you did, the 2014 album. What's that one called? I've got that one. That's the one.
That's just Indy and the Vegas.
Yeah, that's Indy and the Vegas with the is it the black and white cover? Is that right?
Yeah.
So where was that one recorded, and what was the vibe with that?
So a couple of the tracks we used from the EP, so we had to put Fair Fight and Pheromones on there.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it was done at London Road Studios in Baldock. I don't know if you've ever.
I have heard of London Road Studios. I think Jez Wells, who's just tuned in, and a few people rehearsed there. So London Road Studios in Baldock is where you did that.
And then the rest was done in our Joe's kitchen, drummer's kitchen, and Ryan from the CC Smugglers was our kind of drum tech for that, and he had all these nice mics, and we just set everything up and just record it ourselves.
Wow, yeah, well, the results are fantastic. So, sort of in this period, one thing we haven't touched on, which is obviously the thing at the moment that we're all missing as musicians, the gigs. What kind of places did you play with Indy and the Vegas? I know you've done some of the places I know about. Tell us about your journey there, because I know you've played, in America, and what? Give me some memorable gigs in that period for the promotion.
So from that time period, it's probably Esquires.
Yeah,
I think we've done with do you remember Dynaphone
of
Records?
course I do remember. With
Yeah,
Andy
yeah. I
Smith, I
think
was
we,
messaging him
yeah,
last night. Yeah.
Andy Fergus.
Joel Dore
Yes,
on
we
keys. Yeah,
supported them.
yeah,
So yeah, Esquires has always been a hub for us.
yeah.
We've loved it, and Club 85,
Of course,
obviously.
shout out.
But yeah, I just saw that my mum just texted me saying, "Oh, you're on the news. We're on the news tonight."
I know with that.
Me and Fenella, as she is
Yes.
called now. And that was the best of Bedford, one of the first best of Bedfords. Um, I think Love Gun
Did they
were on there as
did they
well.
use some footage from one of the best of Bedfords? Because
Yeah,
I've
yeah, yeah.
seen about all this on social media.
I'll send you it. My mum
Yeah,
recorded
yeah,
it
no
because
sense.
that's what mums do.
Yeah, I know. My mum said I'm going to shout out to all the guys at Esquires, Gareth and Pete, and all the staff. But yeah, so Bedford Esquires is one of your memorable gigs. Club 85. Did you take Indy the Vegas to London? Did you go and play some of those shows down there?
Yeah, we did Water Rats. We packed that
Oh,
out.
that's the good venue. Yeah, King's Cross, Water Rats.
Uh, yeah, that was great. Purple Turtle.
Another good one as well, Camden.
Um, like, yeah, just loads of little pubs. And we used to play like 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah,
So we went hard for like a long time.
and
Yeah, just
and did you
just giving.
manage to sort of shift? Was it the album? Was it was a self financed, or did you have a bit of backing with that first Indy in the Vegas album?
It was self-financed, but it wasn't very expensive because it was quite DIY.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
let me tell you guys, it's great if you haven't got it. So, and this is another good thing to sort of catch you to talk about this. How are you? Are you a bit of both with physical formats and online streaming? Do you like both, or do you like to hold something in your hand? Or I mean, because I'm a bit old school. I like the CD or the vinyl. What's your thing?
um, if if it's a known artist, like I wouldn't go to HMV anymore and buy a CD. But definitely, if I'm at a show with a band like local band or a lower level band, I always buy a CD. I've
Yeah.
got a massive stack of CDs I'm sorting through right now,
Which is a good, yeah,
actually.
nice. Yeah, so we did back to Indy in Vegas. You did the first record, played loads of shows. You just spent some time in LA. Did you record in there? Am I getting this right, or just fill me in if I'm getting?
That was a couple of years after.
Yeah. So was that for this album that's coming out, or what's?
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. So what's this? Tell us about this album that's going to come out. Is it going to come out on a physical format?
Yeah, it'll probably be. I wanted to do like a double, just because it's cool to do a
Oh,
double.
it's bloody cool. Indy,
Yeah.
Indy Ford, everybody, give this guy a virtual high five. It is very cool to do a double album. It's
So
very
the
cool.
first one would be like we're gonna have everything on Spotify because that's what
You've
you
got to
do
have it. Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
But I think we'll do it's a 10-track story.
Yeah.
The album. It's called The Getaway, and it all interlinks, and it's really cool. But we'll only do that. We'll only do the transitions on the physical.
Yeah.
So we're saving that for that, and we'll probably do. I'd like to do a double CD and do like 2 bonus tracks, and then like some demos of the songs, just because they change so much from like me sitting there with the guitar to Zara, who's our producer. He's like the 4th member of the band, really. To his like finished take on it.
Yeah.
It's great. Like finally working with someone that can take the ideas we have and like see them materialize.
And
It's really
taking that extra
cool.
mile. And then when you recorded, in the US of A, how did you feel the vibes over there? Did that influence? Was it a different vibes? I know it's recording, and a microphone's a microphone, but surroundings and stuff and where you are can have a sort of a vibe on what you're doing. How did it out for you when you were recording over there?
Um, it's definitely it's definitely inspirational. I like the sun, and we've always had a kind of summery vibe. So the music
Yeah.
kind of fits a bit better there. And we are quite poppy and not cheesy, but we're not as um, I don't know. The music's always seemed more Americanized than what you'd expect to hear at Esquires or 85, like your typical local indie band kind of vibe.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So it's always been more cheesy pop. So it's kind of been hard to get on lineups because of it. But yeah, we just stuck to our guns.
No, please do that. This is, because what you do is great, and you've got it. Whatever music you play, I mean, you all know this. If you mean it, it's cool. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, whatever style or genre, if that's what you love and that's what your vibe is, it's very hard to, if you just want to go and you want to get down, to then sit there. Oh, I'm going to be a real, you just got to be really, true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's a good thing. So what kind of things? I know we're in these crazy times. Have you done, dare I say, any lives or online gigs or anything? I know you did. I saw something. Am I dreaming this? There's so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I done two lives just from the Indy the Vegas page because we hadn't done one before and I hadn't done one before, and it's quite scary actually. I had butterflies more than if I was, because you can't see anyone. You don't know
No.
what's going on. You don't know, like, I don't know what Derek's doing right now. What are you doing,
Yeah.
Derek?
Or yeah. Hopefully, there's a few people watch us. Yeah. So you did a couple of lives and a couple of things.
But, yeah, and I did some fundraisers. So the first one was for the Bullstock Musicians Fund to help, because obviously we haven't got live income coming in right now.
Yeah.
So that was to help Bullstock musicians. Then I did one for the Club 85 fundraiser. And then I did one with the Blender guys.
Yeah.
And that was raising more funds for Esquires.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done really well on their
They have.
fundraiser,
Yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
great.
it's yeah. So it's yes, that's great. So, and are you going to be? So, what's the plan? Obviously, I know you probably had a plan before all of this. Derek Clark says he's listening. What is? You say you're going to release a song a month? Is that going to be iTunes, Spotify, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, just on all the formats.
Yeah,
everywhere we can. So from our own SoundCloud, Spotify, we're just kind of. I think it's not quantity over quality, but you definitely got to keep your output up. You don't have any trouble with that. You do an album a month.
well, I mean, this is this is the whole. I mean, this is the whole thing. Like, without getting too deep into it, because we could talk all night on this. But the art of songwriting. There's some songwriters that absolutely have to hone every aspect of every song to perfection before anyone hears it, and there's some people like me who'll just throw all the mud against the wall and see what sticks. And so, where do you see yourself? Do you hone things perfectionally, or where do you fit in that sort of thing?
I always find it hard to complete. I've got like hard drives full of ideas and stuff. It's the completion that I find hard.
Yeah.
I should have got involved with that. I saw like Robbie Miller, is it? And all the guys, Johnny Mudd,
Yeah,
and all
doing
that.
a
A few
song.
years ago,
Yeah.
they did, one a day, and I was like, I need to get involved with this. I didn't.
Yeah.
But I'll write a riff a day.
Yeah.
And then I might write a chorus another day, but then I'll never finish a song.
And just
So I do find that
you find that therapeutic to do that. Yeah.
it's just tricky.
It's well, I mean, yeah, it's I've got to be honest. When I'm listening back to albums, now I'm finding some's good, some I'm thinking, what was I doing? But within the context of it all, it's okay. But there's gems in there. But I think whatever works for you individually. But we'll have a bit of a geek chat. Just 'cause I think there's a couple of guitar people watching. So, what is Indy Ford's preferred guitar then? What's your what do you like playing the most out of all the guitars that have been made?
So I've always been a Strat guy.
Yeah.
I know you love your gear,
Yeah,
but I'm kind of not the opposite. But I'd rather just throw me any old piece of wood
any old piece of
and
wood
I'll
and
play
play.
it. But I definitely think the Strat for me is the guitar shape. I've got a Les Paul copy and stuff,
but
but for me,
the Strat is the one. So
you think of a guitar, you think of Strat.
Yeah,
you
heard it, guys. You heard the Strat. So yeah. So hopefully we'll be out of this lockdown, music-wise, maybe by September, October. I'm kind of praying and hoping. So when it does get lifted, and we're going to expect to see you play Esquires, Club 85, some London venues.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. Yeah, just want to get back out
and
on stage. Really.
Yeah,
We have a few festivals booked in. You can't beat playing outside on a sunny day,
yeah.
even if it's to 5 people.
I know it's. I did one last year. Just hearing your voice bounce back on a big PA and your guitar bounce back, and it was one of those ones. And I think the drummer and the bass player, who are friends of mine, we won't wrap them out on here. They couldn't make it to the gig, so I ended up doing the gig with the bloody sound guy playing drums. But I tell you what, I had the most fun. Playing at a festival and just hearing myself bounce around. So yeah, no, it's great. So is there anything else you want to say just briefly before we say goodbye? Any other messages for the Vegas fans? And
just we'll see you all down Esquire soon.
Yeah,
you Bedford lot,
and
for a pint at Danny's and a jam.
Yeah,
at one of your Wednesday nights.
Well, hopefully, we'll be back. But thank you, Indy, so much for taking the time out to interview, do the interview. Thank you guys for watching, and Indy, best of luck with the new album. And
Cheers,
we'll see you very soon. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye, Indy. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.